And I would like each and every one of you to stand up. And
I'm the video.
You laugh. Everybody has a big smile on their face. Because it's about love. We love to eat. And that's what we're doing. That's number one, right? But it truly is about love. And that's the balance that we have to bring and really support each other. Can you hear me now? So it's about love. And it's about bringing a balance to love. That every single day that you take time to give back to somebody you don't know, to be able to help them, to balance it. It's more than just the food that we love. It's more than just every day loving your own family. So that I was in Thailand, and in Thailand, every day they have to put food out. They put a little bit of food. They take a plate, and they put if you have a plate, they take a little saucer, and they put that little saucer out to give. Just to give every single day. So it's just about love, and it brings back that love in that circle. So we're going to start off today. This is not a speech or a talk. Today we are sharing. The very first thing we did was share food, and that's what we love to do, right? So now Tawana wanted me to tell my little story about how Sebi and I met. How it all began. Once upon a time, there was this little girl, and really a little girl, I'm still a little girl, was running across, it started in California. And there was a hospital, there is a hospital named Martin Luther King Hospital. It's a very good hospital. And am I doing good now? Okay. So I used to run, I don't remember, Sebi told the story. I would run across the lobby, and the hospital is really big. And she said that little girl had a purse on her shoulder, and the purse was bigger than her because the purse was made. I had an African purse made, and he was hiding somewhere. I don't know where. I didn't see him. And I would run because I'm always late. And so one day he came. He was a steam engineer. I keep on talking about it. I love projects. And so one day he came to that department. I'm not interested at all. I was not interested, right? But I was the new girl on the block. As the key punch, there was 4 different people. He brought this bread. And the bread, I don't like saying vegetarian or vegan, but I didn't eat meat long before I met Sebi. Meat made my stomach hurt, and it made me nauseated. And it was just like, yeah. So I stopped a long time ago. And remember, this is California. So I was this little girl with these little picnic things, and I had 7 holes and bangles all the way up, and meat, oh God, it was like horrible to me because it's maggots. So he brought this bread, and I didn't like bread. And he said, here, girl, try it. You know his personality? So it was 4 people, and one of the girls was missing, and he said, try it. And I'm like, I don't like that. And so then it's midnight shift. So like 3 o'clock, I'm like, oh, let me try it. Because you want something. So I took a piece, and it was so good. I mean, it was really good. Because he made it from scratch, and it was made with coconut milk, and totally from scratch. And I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm like, okay, where is this person? Like, I didn't know who he was, wasn't interested, but now I'm like, it's really good. So my head is down, and I'm going toward the elevator to get on the elevator because I'm kind of airy and in my world. And I went to get on the elevator and ran straight into him. And he's like, where are you going? And I was like, oh my God, I wanted to find you. I want some more of that over. And I don't go there. But I wanted this bread. So you know how they say, you know how the woman wins the man's heart through the food? Well, that's what happened. Because I said, okay. He said, I'm going to cook you a meal. Now, I'm not really throwing Sebi under the bus because this is a long, long time ago. This is way back in the 60s. When we met, the late 60s. So Sebi ate meat and all that stuff. Sebi was pointed shoes and cigarettes, and you know, we all grow. We have to leave that. And I was just like, You know, he was all conservative, and I'm like, my children say like a hippie. So I go over and I had these clogs, right? So he hears these bells ringing, so he hides the meat, and he makes this meal for me. And he made this meal with spaghetti and plantain and all these different things. And I was like, oh my God. Because I wasn't an eater. I didn't care anything about eating. You know, like really skinny and, you know, what? Eat? No, they couldn't give me to eat nothing. Like, they couldn't give me egg, milk. I was in the principal's office because I wouldn't eat. So he made this great big meal. And that was the beginning. That's how we started. We sat there and we talked, and so then we started traveling. He had 3 days off or 4 days because he worked a long time, and we started traveling. We started going because we lived in California, Los Angeles, California. So we went to Mexico all the time, every weekend. So it was like, we started traveling all through Mexico. And so we started collecting herbs. That wasn't his interest, that wasn't my interest, but we started going to different villages, and we'd stop at the village, and the people would give their stories. And we started learning about, this man was telling us about the little girl. She had cancer, and the little girl was dying, and he was out on the road collecting this plant. And Sebi stopped, and his personality is like, get in the car. And so the man gets in the car with all these plants, and he's telling us all about these plants and his daughter, and he healed his daughter. So then we started learning about that. Then we went to this other village. This was another time, and we went for, what was it? Oh yeah, the people in the village were dying of snake bite. And so they started introducing us to these different plants that they were giving to the people for the snake bite that was healing the people. And that's how we began. We started traveling then. We traveled all over the world. And Sebi has a personality where, persona, where people are a magnet to him. And so people, this is back to Los Angeles now, people started coming. And he would say, go cook so-and-so. He's in the front talking, and I would start cooking these herbs, and the people would bring their bottle. We didn't have bottles and labels and none of this fancy kind of stuff. This was the beginning, way back in the early 70s. And they would bring their water bottle, or they didn't have water bottle, something. It would be an alcohol bottle or something. They would bring that bottle, and then the lady came, this lady came from Mexico, and her throat was closing, and they said she was going to die, and it's a little short lady. And so we started giving her the herbs, and she was coming from Mexico each time to get the herbs that we were preparing. And mind you now, she was an herbalist, but she, I guess, didn't know what for that. So then she came, and her throat opened. Her throat was open, and so she's real short. So she went and choked up the sock Sebi in the face, but it was out of love. It flattened. And there's where we began. That more people started coming, and more people one time I was in the kitchen, there was this lady that came, and she had, mentally out of balance. Walk out on the street, she was kind of like not in this reality. And I was cooking the CC4. Let me skip a little bit. One time I was pregnant with Sasa, and this is like 34 years ago. And I was cooking the CC4, and this is an all-night thing to cook this CC4. You gotta cook it, boil it down, and then until it's almost like a tar, almost. So I'm cooking it, and I burnt it. That's just on the side. I'm like, oh my God. And I was crying, and said, what's wrong with your mother? So this lady they kept coming, and we were giving her like the Maya, which was then called the tonic. It wasn't Maya yet, it was the tonic, because we've added more and more herbs to it. So then I don't know what made me say, well, what about the stomach? In Sebi's speeches, I said, what about the gut? But I don't use that word, gut. I think that's but it was, I said, let's clean out the colon. And I was in the middle of cooking that. And like, this is like blood, sweat, and tears. So we gave her that, and it helped her. She stopped. She just clearly stopped the walking around and walking out in the streets in the middle of the night. Just crazy. It was like mentally imbalanced, I guess.
So are you saying that herbs can help mentally disabled people?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it can.
How is that?
Because it really starts.
So I asked, because she was talking about the tonic that she was making, and there was a woman that was walking around crazy, and they gave her the tonic, and it helped her mind. So I said, so are you saying that the herbs can help a mentally disabled person? And she said yes. And so I asked how, so she's going to tell us how.
Wow.
Because see, what happened is we look at disease, pathologies and disease because they give it titles. Like if you have cancer, or we got a lot of people with Alzheimer's, and we have a lot of children coming in with autism. And look, I'm naming it. So we're looking at the name. The name, they've given it a title. So when that person is mentally imbalanced, we're just looking at that particular title. Like that child with autism, you would think, oh, there's no help with that, right? Just like the person that's mentally ill. No. I'm skipping. I'm gonna come back. I'm skipping.
I'll throw my food away.
That's what
My first. Thank you.
So it's gonna all tie in. The autism, and I'm going in that direction because we have a lot of children with autism. A lot. It's on the rampage. I mean, endless people are coming in with autism. I'm jumping again. Autism is a mental problem. There's a lot of mental problems. But this one is from the shots. Now the brain. The brain is neural nets, electrical wires, right? Firing and synaptic firing. Well, what happens with the young children is they give them shots. And these shots are made of acid. And we are electrical. Everything from my hand to move, from my brain to think, we're electrical. So now, they give them these shots, and they give them a lot of shots. These children, a lot of these children, the stories that have given is they were perfectly fine. They could hear, they could talk, they had all their senses, and then they got these shots.
Are you talking about the school shots?
Yeah, all those vaccinations, whatever those vaccinations is, they have to have. So now, the shots are acid-based. It's made in a laboratory. It's acid-based. No matter what they tell you. For measles, for chicken pox, is to the side, with all due respect. Well, including the flu shot. The flu shot is included in this part. The flu shot is the flu itself.
Right.
Okay, come on now. Are the disease itself, so they said. They said it was the chicken pox, it was the measles, it was polio. They're giving them the disease. What's that make? I really truly ask, what kind of sense does that make to give you the shot? So, what? You don't think that your body can fight, right? Your body creates biotics, and your body is the one that does it. Now when they're giving that shot, they're giving, it's acid-based. It's something that's made in a laboratory. You are electrical. So now that means that you're doing acid on electrical wires. So now you short circuit. So now they can't process. So now back to the lady that's mentally imbalanced. Acid. We eat nothing but acid food. So now the acid broke down that area because we eat uric acid, lactic acid, carbonic acid. We eat nothing but acid foods. So it broke down. So as I didn't do anything. This is another one.
I asked her to name some acidic foods.
The uric acid. Anything that walks, crawls, flies, or swim. Lactic acid, the byproducts, milk, cheese, and eggs, and any other byproduct from the animal. And then the carbonic acid, which is all the starchy foods, the beans, the rice, the bread. So we eat nothing but acid food. So what we do is we break our body down. We start breaking it down and start compromising it. And that's what happened to her. So when we cleaned the colon, her brain was able to process it. The same thing has happened with Alzheimer. Alzheimer's, you've broken down one side of it. Mucus has accumulated in that area. So now we start cleaning the mucus out because they can't remember in that area. And it's breaking it down. So when we start cleaning it out with the herbal compounds, then we're able to bring them back. And that's what happened with the child also. But that one is a longer process because you burnt all these nerve cells. You burnt them in the mega doses because they give them so many shots all at one time. Like, oh no. And it's so hard for the parents to see it. Listen, you do not have to give those shots. I don't understand. I come from another world, but I don't understand. My children go to school, and they didn't have any shots, and they were all born at home. Like, no. But this day and time, you can get it notarized, and you can say it's against the religion, and you don't have to get those shots. That's a violation against you. No, it doesn't have to be. So, now, we are in Los Angeles. And so Sebi loves to travel. I love to travel. So we decided we were going to go to Dominica. It's Dominica. And we decided we were going to go to Dominica. And Sebi said, well, I'm going to go to New Orleans or something before we went to Dominica. And I was like, well, I want to go somewhere. So I said, we love it. And so I said, well, let me go to Dominica. Went to Dominica. And there was a hurricane, like the worst hurricane that they had. Didn't know what to do. Really, I say I'm an island girl because that's all the places that we live. But I was a city girl then. Remember, I was just a little girl, so I didn't know nothing. There was these little centipedes crawling on the wall, and I thought they were millipedes, and they were centipedes. Like, oh my God. This hurricane came and everybody went down to the church. We were still there because it was just me and the children. And it was like houses were torn down, the galvanized was broken off, everything. People died. It was like the worst nightmare. double window. And I'm trying to close the window. And you have to time that thing because the way the wind, Sebi saying, okay, improvise. So I'm going to have to find a rock to put that hook back in there. Anyway, we woke up. The next day you recuperate. So now there's many people sick from this. And so they're coming to us, and a lot of people are coming to us, and they're being healed. There was this little boy that had, I don't know what he had, but his spleen had, it was his spleen that broke down, but he was real weak, and he could hardly move. So we began to help him with the herbs. I don't even think we were emphasizing then on the diet. We were just giving him the herbs and giving him the herbs. And he was dying because it was his spleen not functioning properly. So then he was doing fine. So everybody said, Dr. Sebi, for president. So because they wanted him for president, they said, we gotta leave. So they kicked us off the island. But it was a lot of people that were being healed. But in Dominica is where I went totally and completely blind. I was paralyzed. I was like Sebi's toughest case. I was literally dying because we lived in St. Croix, and in St. Croix the water was contaminated. And I just had Sasa, so my resistance was down. And Sebi was saying, you want to go to the doctor? You want to go to the doctor? I was like, and I couldn't talk, and my mouth was twisted, and I could hardly hold Sasa, and I wasn't telling him, and we were on this plane, this private plane, and so we didn't get the herbs. So all the people in the village came and brought the herbs. The plane, another plane had to come because I traveled all these herbs, so it was boxes and boxes, so that's the point of private plane because he couldn't. So he took the herbs that the people brought and he put it on the top of my head. And that's how we created the hair food oil. So he put these on the top of my head because I couldn't swallow anything. And I remember at a certain point, I couldn't see. And I heard all these people talking. And I was like, oh, wow, I can't see. I knew I was dying. I really knew I was dying because when we were in the taxi, and we were riding down, and Dominica is the island that is so beautiful. And we were riding, and I'm looking, and I'm seeing all these beautiful flowers, and this river, and I'm riding down, and I'm thinking, oh, what a wonderful life, because I knew I'm going. What a wonderful life. I have a wonderful husband, and my 2 girls, and I got my little boy because I wanted a little boy. Oh my God, did I want a little boy? So I'm thinking, okay, you're going for real, Ma. It's okay. And I thought everything was beautiful, and it was extra pretty, and this lighting was so pretty, and we're riding down, and we're riding, and I could feel in my hand. I couldn't feel in my hand. That was the point. I couldn't hold Sasa, and I could feel everything going, like in my shoulders and in my muscles. I could feel it going, like, okay, you're really gonna leave here now. And I'm like, it's okay. So when we got to the place, the house, we had rented this house, and I was hundreds of people, and I'm like, oh my God, like, let me get out this car. See, when you're dying, you don't change. You still remain the same person. You don't change. That inner dialogue stays the same. So I said, I just wanted Wiwi to push the door open, and she couldn't get the door open because there was all these people, and they're saying Dr. Sebi, but Dr. Sebi isn't there, right? So we finally get the door open, and she did the door open because I didn't do anything. I couldn't even move my hand. So we get in, and I just flopped down. Oh my God, on the floor. Now I can't move. I can't get up. I can't lift my hand. I see Sasa laying there, and this is my own personality. And I see this little mosquito on him, and I'm thinking, oh my God, just get the mosquito off of him. I just want to get the mosquito off, and his hand is kind of on the floor. This is how get this off, but I can't talk. My concerned, I can't talk. And these people want to give Sasa this or that, and Lewi was strong. She was like, no, she didn't let him give him anything, because I only breastfed. Finally, Sebi came, and it wasn't any herbs, and we were way on the other side. So that's when the people brought the herbs, and he started putting all these herbs together. He started cooking these herbs, and then he piled them on my head. And I'm thinking, oh my God, if he just would do this neatly, because it's running down my face, and he's slapping my face, saying, Ma'ah, you're the light. And I'm thinking, it's okay. And you're the light, and this stuff, I just want you to get this stuff off, but I can't say, get this stuff off, running off my eye. And so he piled it on there, and he packed it on my head, and then it stayed on there for a couple of days. And my hair was real short, really short. It doesn't hardly grow. And when, I think maybe 2 or 3 days, well, like the next day, I was like, okay. That's when they were like, the bush doctor. That's when the Dr. Sebi came in, because like I was totally fine. But I left it on my head, and like 3 or 4 days later, my hair was, it had grew like way out there, like it was growing. So that was like the beginning of our journey into we started going from island to island, because now the word is getting spread, and this man had leukemia. We went to Trinidad, and his wife had died of leukemia, and it got reversed, and this man came to us from Spain, and he was dying. He could hardly walk, and he began to walk. He was 80 years old, 80, and he said, you better give my wife something. The man was 80, and I think she was like around 50. And she's like, you better give my wife something. I said, Sebi, what's he mean? Like, what? And he said, don't worry about it, girl. Don't worry about it. And so because he was strong in the reproductive area now, and if she didn't get strong, he's talking about she's gonna lose me. That's what he's saying. But anyway, that was how we started all over the place with that. And then we grew, and here we are. I have endless stories, so I'm not going to hold you, but I do want you to know we have grown a lot since then. And now I'm going into another phase. This is my own little branch now, right? Sebi and I went separate ways, and I still give the consultations. And oh wait, I'm jumping. We got all Sebi's girls, not all. Sebi has hundreds of children. We got his children here, Usha and Save and Kelly. But we're not going to just say his children, because they're my girls too. So no. But they grew in the business, and we really grew. So now there's another part, because she was saying alkaline living, right? And it's about balance. So this other part now that I've grown into is dimensional healing. We know about the food, and the food is so very important in balancing it and understanding that it caused the disease. That's how we've been able to reverse it, to heal it, to alleviate it with the food. It's really about taking responsibility, knowing that we caused it. And it is to know your body, to know that you caused it to be, you could reverse it. Because we turn our back on our body, we really do. We turn our back, with all due respect, total respect, you really turn your back on God. Does everybody believe in God? So, what makes you go to this man? God said fruit for food, leaves for medicine. And we go to this man for everything, every little thing. So take another look. So now the growth is, dimensional healing is the other aspects of healing. Because the thing that we want more than anything is to be happy. What you say? My question, because we have a quest, my question is to you, Tawana, do you really know who you are?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we all say. We know the me, we know the I, we know female, we know our ethnic, and that's who we identify. We identify as this personality. But what about our energy being, our spirit? When do we really feed it? We just fed the body, but feeding our spirit, our energy being. So it's bringing that to the forefront, our soul, our spirit, and understanding how to bring that to a balance, to really live in peace and joy, and to heal. So now we're going to go into dimensional healing. To be continued. So you got to come back and see me again. I want to say I love you dearly, sincerely. I do, because it's really about love, and I'm only a reflection of you. And you could live in bliss and wake up every day dancing, just like the way we saw them dancing. That's how you're supposed to wake up every day and feel that, and all your loved ones. So enjoy the gifts of life.
So tell us about your herbs. What type of healing does your herbs provide?
What we do is take you on a program of intracellular cleansing and revitalizing of the whole system. So it's not just a product. We have a product line, but it's not just a product, because you got to work with the whole body. And the herbs that we have are herbal compounds, so they're a combination of herbs. We collect them from all over the world, and we prepare them ourselves. They are your electric cell food because you're electrical. So what we're doing is cleaning the entire system, cleaning the liver, the kidney, the gallbladder, colon, the spleen, the blood, the heart. We're working with the whole body no matter what disease it may be. So the herbs are for different areas. We have the H1 for the female, the T1 for the male in the reproductive area. But it's not just that. You could give that, that's going to help you. Like the H1 is hot and cold flashes, and for that menopause. So you think, okay, for that. But we're not here to fix it. We don't fix it because it's a healing process. So it's bringing the body to balance again. The Afro bio-mineral balance, as Dr. Sebi says. It's the bio-mineral balance now. So what we're doing, that H1 is bringing that body to balance, moving the acid out and bringing it to balance. The T1 is cleaning the prostate area. And the Maya, oh my God, the Maya is like the star. The Maya, you take the Maya and you dance. You take the Maya?
No, I don't know Maya.
Oh, you haven't took the Maya? Really? Oh, but that's because you got them from Sebi.
No, I didn't know.
But you got some kind of blood something, right?
I got my herbs from the store around the corner from my job.
Oh.
And I don't know my own herbs. I got my herbs from the store around the corner from my job. I never purchased herbs from Dr. Sebi.
Oh, so how will you heal the diabetes?
So I called the office to see what is in the herb, what is in the compound, and they gave it to me. So I went from here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I couldn't afford it, so I went for it individually. So the main herb that I took was the nopal.
The main herb that I took was the nopal cactus. It's hot, but I like it in tea form because nopal cactus is too hot for me.
So wait, so what did you do? You just, no, tell the whole story. What, you took this one particular herb and you began to lose weight? No, wait, what?
And so I fasted for 40 days. And on the fast, I took nopal cactus, I Tilo, elderberry tea, what was the other? Key lime, and a gallon of water a day. And actually, on the 21st day, I was in pre-diabetic state.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, so I couldn't afford to get the packages from the store, so I just called to see what was in,
This is the LA office.
Yep.
You know what did it? What did it more? The herbs did it, but you fasted, right?
Yeah.
It's the fasting. You let the body take that break. And, okay, so now that proves it. That's why I said, there is no healer. All these people talking about they're a healer. I don't mean to insult anybody. No, I love you. Please. Give me an excuse, because that's what, I'm 67. That's what 67-year-old people do, So, but it is, you are the healer. And that's what she did. Her body healed. And her body was able to heal because she stopped eating the foods that caused it to be, and the body started healing.
Wow, that's it.
And actually, it started, I started October the 21st, and I was introduced to Dr. Sebi's page because I had fibroids. My husband had to rush me to the hospital because I was in so much pain, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was cramps, but it wasn't cramps, because I took all that medication and it still didn't go away. So now I say no prescription drug. So, when I started taking, because I ate all meat, and my husband had made some chicken, and I was on my third day, the woman's third day, and so I was done with the cramping, and ate some chicken and went back to a fetal position for another 2 days. And so after finding out that I had multiple fibroids, I just took chicken out of my my diet and started eating alkaline foods only. No more. I said I took starch out of my diet, I took meat out of my diet, I took dairy out of my diet, and now I do the figs. I eat figs once a day, and that helps with menstrual cramps and fibroids.
That's beautiful. So you see, you can do it. Because you're the healer. Okay, but, excuse me, I'm not trying to correct you. You know, this is beautiful. We gotta give a clapping hand to Tawana. Oh my God, she did such a wonderful job, and it went real smooth with the food and everything, and the food was great. So we passed out a card, those that you could write your questions on. It just makes it a little bit easier. And so you can, where's Isala? You could, I don't know, however you want to do it. Isala, collect the index cards for us, please. This is Isala, my baby.
Do we have any questions?
So you could, if you have questions, you could pass them. And give us your cards. If you give the card, everybody fill out the card and put your email on it. What we'll do is have a drawing, and somebody, because I love that circle with the seats, what was that called? Musical chair.
Yeah, we got another game. I got another game.
So we're going to do the cards. Everybody fill out their card that we pass to you with your email and your phone number and all that on there. And then at the end, we'll do a drawing, and somebody will get a free Maya.
Oh, I need to do a card.
Right. Right. A free Maya. Look, I need some Maya. Look.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to tell you about the Maya. Wait, you gotta hear about the Maya.
Get me a card. Please.
Question?
Did you answer the question, how long do you have to fast for it to be effective? Did you answer that already?
No. Well, each person is different, because, like, for instance, my dad got diabetes after I was diagnosed. Weird. You know, nobody in our family had diabetes. I was the first one. And then my dad got it. And so, if you are a person that, like, for instance, if you eat more meat than I eat, if you eat more junk than I eat, then it will take your body a longer process than it will take mine. So everybody's body is different. So I just say, just go for it. I mean, if you're not used to fasting, you know, try it. I was gonna say try a week, but that may be too much. I mean, try a day. Yeah, at least, I said at least a week.
7 days, because
You gotta go through the process. Because if you do 3 days, some people do 3 days, some people do 1 day. You didn't really let your body go through the process of releasing. At least 7 days, because the first couple of days is like chaos in the body. You're releasing, it's going, oh, I want to eat, and driving you crazy, and then it calms down, and then it's like, I don't want nothing, give me nothing. But it's a nice fast when you do 21 days, but you start off with a week if it's a challenge for you. But to reverse it, I think she did an excellent job, but she did take her herbs too.
Yeah.
So you gotta help. The herbs is to give you the helping hand.
Right.
So I have another question here, but this is a consultation. This is like a whole lot of questions. It's too many for me.
Does breastfeeding women have to wait until after she has finished breastfeeding to do a fast or a cleanse for the colon?
Yes. I could fast because I had breastfed all my children till they were 2 or 3 years old. So 2, 3, and 4. So I could fast because I was fasting before and long-term fast. So it was different for me. I'm not releasing toxins. I don't care nothing about eating, and now it's a habit. And then I would just take a break from food. But it wasn't like I was releasing the toxin. So yes, you do need to wait.
No,
I can't pronounce your name, Quadrilla. The other one was for chronic pain that doesn't go away after eating. Alternative for several months, taking herbs. Well, what are you eating? That's the thing. You know. Now, when we say alkaline, there are a lot of people who say alkaline, but there are so many different type of alkaline eating.
I'm following Dr. Sebi's nutritional guide.
Now, who's talking? I can hear you. I can't see.
She's in my
Oh,
head.
right there. When did you start?
August
Of
2018.
Okay, how often do you detox?
Well, I haven't been able to because I was breastfeeding.
Oh. And so like my aunt said, once you stop breastfeeding, detox. Because if you're in pain, the body is telling you something is wrong.
You need to do a consultation.
Yeah.
Because we need to do like a health assessment
right.
and guide you through the process. That's all part of the consultation. And create a nutritional strategy. It's not just don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this, that list of, you know, Dr. Sebi says, don't eat nothing. And we love him. But, you know, that's not real. So we have to design that diet according to the way you eat and create a nutritional strategy. Because the body speaks and it's telling you something, even though you're fasting. So it's so many more questions, and I want to answer all your questions, but we really should do. Even if you just did an explanation, that's no charge. You just kind of get an idea and decide which way you want to go. Okay? I love you.
And so, Usha, the name of what's your website?
I don't have a website.
Okay. And so,
Literally kidney, gallbladder, but so we have a special herb for the pancreas, DVT, but it's so much more than that. Because we got to clean the colon and all the other areas. So it would behoove you to set an appointment and then get on the program and then get the package. But if you want to skip all of that, maybe we should. I don't know. Because I'm always like, no, I'm not doing that. This is not a drugstore. I'm not giving you a package right now. You got to get a consultation. So this one says, I don't know, how can I become a student, I guess, and learn at your healing, what does that mean? What is that?
How can I become a student at your healing? Ellie?
Yes.
What's your question?
I just want to know how can I become a student of your herbology teachings?
Do you have classes?
No, I'm so sorry. It's, Sebi doesn't.
Hi.
Hello.
Interrupting. Yes, we will be holding classes. We're beginning the curriculum. We're designing the curriculum, and we will be holding classes. So we will advertise that online. We will send it to your email and that kind of thing, but we will contact everyone who has provided a card or information. And you can also join our Facebook page, which is supposed to be launched and ready within the next couple of weeks, but it's Dr. Sebi's Daughter's Counseling Service. So we will be offering different types of services. Thank you.
Can you pronounce that?
Terliski.
No, what is it?
Interstitial cystitis.
No. It's not what to take. That's what society has done in
Right.
the Western world. It is a healing process. So I
Okay.
can't say to you right now to answer that question
Okay.
what to take, because we're going to work with the whole body.
Okay.
Once again, that's put in a category.
Right.
And according to that symptom, but it is totally and completely alleviating it, but it's the whole body. We
Right.
can clean the colon.
Okay.
and
Okay.
kidneys,
Okay.
and
So I would just have my daughter call the office.
yeah, have
Okay.
a call.
Okay.
And I would say in addition to what she's saying is right. You know, once I started,
Doing the fast, before I did that, I detoxed.
Right.
So it's like the scripture says you can't put old
Wine
wine
in
in new wineskin.
Right.
So you gotta get all the dirt out.
Okay.
Get rid of the toxins and stuff, and you do that through detoxing.
Okay.
You get the herbs to, detox your system, and that gets the mucus out, right? And mucus is disease.
Right.
It's just like what Ma was saying, they put a name to it.
Right.
But it's
Just
just
the
a
name.
disease.
Right.
Diabetes is mucus in the body.
Okay.
Cancer is mucus in the body. AIDS, mucus in the body.
Right.
Once we get the mucus out of the body,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have the disease.
Okay. Thank you.
I think that's answering the question. Or how much do you charge for consultation? Well, we have consultations here. Usha does consultations, and then I have I'm in New York. I live in New York. So we have consultations there, and I do consultations on the phone all over the United States. How much do you charge, Usha? Usha charges $50. So you could do a consultation with Usha. My consultations are $115, and you get 4 more consultations with that $115. If you sign up today, if you really want a consultation, you sign up. I'll give a discount. Some kind of discount. But it's better we support Usha. We gotta support her. So, I guess there's no more questions. Did I do okay?
yes. Did we miss anyone's question?
Get up every day and dance. The Maya's like your best friend. The Maya is superb. It gives you energy, it nourishes your body, it gets some more hands raised up there. They want to party because somebody's gonna get a Maya. But the Maya allows the oxygen to flow, it purifies the blood, it nourishes the blood, strengthens the blood. But every day you wake up with all this energy, and you just dance around. You just like, it gives you, Maya is one of the contributing factors, one of the elements that help reverse the AIDS, the herpes, because it's cleaning the blood. It does so much more. It's good for babies and young people. You'll see, you gotta get your Maya. You know, I didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock. Got up at 8 o'clock and feel full of energy. Like just bounced up, woke up. That's your Maya. So, I want you to enjoy this mind. Let's see, so now we got questions. How do you fast? What foods do you eat or drink? There are different kinds of fasts. There are fast water fasts where you could do strict water, and it just depends on your choice and if it applies to you. And there are juice fasts where you can just do strictly the juice, no sugar, no sugar. Or you can do even a fast with just salads and green vegetables, or you can do a salad fast but no oil, no salt, because these are the things you're trying to restrain from and give your body a break from. Salt really wasn't for human consumption. So I think that the most important thing is, is that you take your herbs while you're fasting so you're still getting all your nutrients. That's not breaking the fast. Like if you have the Maya, or you have the Drink Electra. Drink Electra has 102 minerals, so you're feeding all your cells. You know, some people say that they feel weak or they feel dizzy or you get headaches. When you get the headaches, it's because the toxins, you're releasing the toxins. So it's good because it's like a drug addict. I hope, you know, when they're releasing, coming off, because we're coming off the same thing, poison.
When I did the fast, I wasn't hungry. And that's because I realized that doing the herbs, you feed your cells, not your gut. And so when we feed our gut, we tend to be hungry, but you know, we're made out of a bunch of cells. And so I was feeding my body on a cellular level. While I was fasting, my body was resting, but I was taking the herbs. And that's how I was sustained for 40 days. Now, when I used to fast before, I never fasted with herbs, and I used to be hungry all the time. So I look at fasting differently now. Herbs is the key. You know, Revelations 22:2 speaks about, you know, the herbs, that they're the healing up for the nation. So it's really important and imperative for us to constantly feed our body the herbs, because that's what God created them for, to heal our bodies. You know, now a lot of people talk about how about not wanting to give up meat, not wanting to give up dairy and stuff like that. But the foods have changed throughout the course of the years. It's not the same anymore. You know, so fasting is important to eliminate those toxins out of your body. And whoever asked that question, I have a group page that helps with fasting. And so if you want to be a part of that group page, it's an ongoing fast. We started it January the 4th, and I did it as a result to reverse diabetes, and it's still going on today. So everybody who wants to reverse any disease, they come to the page and they fast.
Wow.
Beautiful. Okay, so now to be continued with your, it says what, I guess they're saying what's a diabetic package? It's a whole program. It's not just, okay, take a package, or we just send you a package. The consultation is needed because we're guiding you through the whole process.
So Usha has business cards. If anybody wants a consultation from Usha. How about you, Maa?
You want my number? 1-800-998-5909. 1-800-998-5909. So you could call me And then, oh yeah, it's on the card. And the website's there, like if you wanted to order, it's coming from there. And I would just love to hear from you, because this is special. So I'm gonna give you my own personal email address. It's a fig tree online at gmail.com. So you could drop me a note. And then, like, I'm not that much in the email either. You could, I'm gonna give you my phone number just to text me, just to hear a little note from you. 404-808-1035. So you could text me and just say sweet words. No, whatever questions you may have, some more new questions may come, and I'll be able to help you. So I want to thank you so very much for coming out here. Your busy schedules, you took time to come out here and see Tawana and hear this crazy talk this lady's saying. Thank you. And then we got to share the love. I used to give these events every third Saturday, and so that's what I would do at the beginning, and then I would give how to learn how to cook, and the presentation would be on the body and learning diseases. So we would do that, and it grew to be a family. The Fig Tree family grew big, because there became hundreds of people. So this is love, and this is the beginning of a connection of a family, because we are family. We're in the middle, this is on the other hand, but be aware, we're in the middle of a biological chemical warfare, and we have to pull together. It's so much fun. So I want you to live in bliss and enjoy all the gifts of life. Thank you.
Let's give Ma a hand.